From Nigeria alone, you have how many genres? Afro pop, Afro R&B, Afro Adura, Afro Ote,
Afro depression.
Afro depression. Are you not confused?
Now money talk. Many money talk. Sitting watching TV and the bad game will come on. So you know. Now money talk.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Moni Talks with your girl. Honestly, guys, I need to stop saying Moni Oshibodu because I'm a married woman now. I need to start telling y'all Moni Balogun. So that's his Mrs. M.O.B. Just kidding, guys. Anyways, I'm back here with another interview. Guys, this one, it is explosive. Like, I am honored to be in this person's presence. And I know the person is like, why is she whining me? But the person knows, sir, that they are a big deal. This is no whining. He's a big deal. He's the plug. He's the connector. He's the thread. He's an A&R. He's a music executive. He's an artiste. He's a producer if you need him to be. Honestly, he is whatever you need him to be in a good way, though. I have the one, the only, Asha, Bankulli in the building. Can I get a round of applause, everybody? Round of applause.
Your Excellency, Moni Talkjs.
Hello, Mr. Asha Bankulli.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you.
I mean, I've watched few of the editions and I see
you
the
have?
I mean, the panache, the beauty of the show. I mean, why not?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Asha. Thank you so much. So thank you for gracing me with your presence today. We have a lot to talk about. I'm sure you know. I have watched...
I don't know.
So I do a lot of research and I watched a lot of your interviews. I read a lot of articles and I was just like, Omo, Bankulli don't walk. Oh, hey God.
Oh, really?
I don't like calling you Mr. Bankulli. I'm going to call you Mr. Bankulli. I have to respect the people that came before me. So yes, I was like, you've done a lot. But one thing I missed was I didn't really see too much of like your background. Like where you're from. I know you started in church. That was what like motivated you. But you don't really speak, like you don't go into depth about your background. They just go straight into, no, we have to start from the beginning. We have to start from where you came from. How many siblings do you have? Your family? What country do you rep? No, sorry, not country, Nigeria. What city do you rep? I rep Elisha Remo, Ogun State. So where do you rep, Mr. Bankulli? Where are you from? Let's go.
Well, very interesting questions. I mean, for me, if you ask me this particular question and it is important that you really want to know about who I am,
I do.
I would definitely, share it with you. But I mean, for the benefit of just saying it here, a lot of interviews that I've gone to, people want to talk about the success story. They don't really want to know how the foundation, how things were built. And for me, I mean, it's okay, I can keep that for myself, And really the kind of person I am, I don't talk about what I do. I just do what I do. Less talk, more action. That's what people know me for. And I don't like noise. I just move still, just do my own thing. Well, I was born into a family of 5. I'm the 4th born. There's, I'm sorry, I'll call them brother Muiwa, Auntie Buki, Tosin, last born, then me. I'm the 4th born. I was born in Lagos, but originally we're from Ondo State. Okay. There's a village called Igbobini. Yeah, Igbobini was cut from Ondo State to Bayelsa, so I'm an Ijo Apoy man. One of the 3rd largest, let me put it like that, ethnic group in the world. If you go by all those riverside, you see all those Ijo people. Ijo, there's Arubu, there's Apoy, there are different ones. So I know where I'm from. Of course, and music for me started at a very early age. I started singing at age 4.
I saw somewhere where you said your brothers would beat you because they knew a tune would come out.
Exactly. When I was growing up, I mean, they noticed, or I noticed too, while growing up, that, when I hear sound, when I hear music, it doesn't leave me. So when I get home, my brothers, they realize that anytime I'm unhappy or I'm suffering from a particular punishment, rather than sing like every normal child, I don't do that. I can pick like,
So as they're beating you, that's what you're singing.
Yeah, I will be crying, you know. And it will be so deep that
they will stop beating you.
no, they won't. My brothers care. So they loved it. So they will, they will beat me and it was like that. It was very consistent. So at home, they know that there's something in me. But the good thing about it was that my dad was a choir master of the church. So we have no choice. All of us have to go to choir practice. But I was not a member of the choir. I was the only person I was not a member. Of course, I had my younger sister. But anytime they go for the choir, they may be in that angle doing their choir rehearsal. But I will be far away from them, watching them from afar, waiting for those
opportunity.
No opportunity. I was not even waiting to join them. I don't want to join them. For real. But everything they are doing there, because I'm far away, I learn it too. So waiting for the rehearsal to finish, let's just go. Then one particular day, I remember it very well. We went for that rehearsals and they were doing their thing from afar. It's a select church. And a prophet from the choir walked out of the choir and came to meet me alone where I was, JJ. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I was just there. But I was singing the song. And the prophet, I don't know if a man or a woman, just came to me and hold me and dragged me to the choir.
Wow.
Of course, the whole choir, they paused. They were like, yeah, I mean, none of them knew I could sing except my family. So they dragged me there and there's one particular instrument called shekere. He collected the shekere from one man and gave me the shekere. So when I joined the choir, I was not singing, I was playing the shekere. It is a percussion. So I played that for a long while. From that, I graduated to conga. From conga to drums. From drums, I learned how to play the bass guitar. Of course, my elder brothers were playing lead and all that. So I started looking at them, you know. I'll be looking at their finger, how they are using their fingers to play the guitars, and when they leave, I'll go and carry it. I began to learn everything. Of course, as a young child, I was just gathering sound. So, I mean, that was how everything, until one particular day, Saturday, of course, there's a final rehearsal before Sunday service. That Saturday, I mean, I don't know what happened. They just gave me the microphone to sing that song. And that was the end. That was the end of that rehearsal. You know, I cannot forget the song. Oh no, I nailed it.
Do you remember the song?
I remember the song, but I won't sing it here. Because I will need a keyboardist to sing.
Okay, I got you.
It's a Yoruba song, but I know the song very well. So I cannot forget that event. On Sunday, when the choir wants to perform, definitely the whole church will sit down and they want to like listen to it. And they were hearing a voice they've never heard before, innocent voice, sounding angelic. I'm still coming out. And the whole church was like, Omo Abisagbo here, like that's my dad is Abisagbo. Like, say yes, Omo Abisagbo. So the gossip was like, say your family in a coin, this one can play guitar, this one can which one is this one again? And you know, and that was how I started my life from the Sunday school choir. Don't worry, there's a picture I was saying to you can add to this edit.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, exclusive. I've shown people on Instagram Live before. You know,
we're gonna put it in the video.
From the Sunday school choir, there was a choir. We have an album, you know, that we did. I was a lead vocalist and stuff like that. From there, I graduated to the main choir. Now, there was one important part of my life that, of course, on record, I'm putting it here. My dad, we had an accommodation problem. And the only place we can go to live at that time was the church. And anybody that is familiar with Select Church, they know that, of course, people, you know, if you have small issues, they will allow you. But in this instance, it's a very big church. I think it's one of the most beautiful churches in Lagos. All built with marble. And the structures were impeccable. There were 3 rooms, empty rooms. Of course, my dad was the choir master and the secretary of the church. So they won't allow him, you know. And it was supposed to be like something that should last like 2 months. But eventually we were inside the church compound for 12 years. Yeah, of my life. So while in the church compound for 12 years, it means Wednesday service, I have to be there. Friday service, I have to be there. There is new moon service Thursday, I have to be there. There is Saturday rehearsals, I have to be there. Friday service, I have to be there.
Well, at least it saved you transportation issues.
Well, it's not even about transportation. I mean, it's all about, you come back from school, you're supposed to have like a young, child. You're supposed to just play around. There's something like playing around.
So you weren't able to play
with other... play for where? My dad is a teacher, for God's sake. How are you going to play? And he's a very disciplined man. Yeah. So everything is geared to book, and you can do music at least. We are here. We can't go anywhere.
Do you feel a way about that though? That you didn't kind of have like a regular childhood where other people where you played with like other children and stuff like that?
I have a lot of friends in church too. I mean, all those young children that come to church. But I mean, like I said, my dad is a very disciplined. You have to, when you come back from school, you have to sleep 1 hour, wake up, study.
Siesta, they give you siesta.
Yeah, siesta. Look at this one. You have to sleep by 9 p.m. I mean, it still helped me up to date.
Yeah.
Anywhere I am, if I'm not productive by 10, I'm like, almost shit aboard. I got to bounce, And it's not just that. Because of the kind of person he was, I didn't see my dad smoke. I didn't see my dad womanize. I didn't see my dad drink alcohol. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't drink. I don't smoke. And you say, how? You've managed, you've walked around the world.
You've never done it before.
Why should I do it? And I do not discriminate anybody.
No, I get it.
It's a choice. Because number one, growing up, I never saw all that. I mean, our own time, our own generation is totally different from what you have now. Then everything, where am I going to get the access to do it? Of course, my elder brother did at that time, but not codedly because I have uncles that are bad guys, and he was able to, because he's the firstborn and he's doing good in school, so he can go and meet them and stuff. But back to me, while in the church, I was able to learn a lot of stuff outside playing music instruments. Example, how to set musical equipment, mixers, how to understanding sound. Understanding that this person, when you're holding a microphone, there is a particular way you sound. You can imagine you have a 32-channel mixer, 36-channel mixer. So when we're setting the microphone for the entire choir, I know how this one sounds. I know how this one sounds. So for me, it was like I was discovering something. And it was endless. And the good thing about it was that the church was buying a lot of equipment. So it was like gadgets. They were like my toys. Going to set the combo, PV, Yamaha amps. You understand what I'm saying? And the good thing about it also was that because it's a very big church, so they're always like, so that thieves will not come and steal all the equipment. So after each service, imagine all the services I've told you. We will go to the storage to pick all this equipment. There are a lot of speakers. Me, my brother, and one of my cousins. We will set before the whole entire choir come. After the service, we will dismantle, we take it back. We did that for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
No, there's nothing bad there. And I believe
it's a learning experience.
It was a build-up for something that I never knew was going to happen to my life on the long run. And I remember when I was in the studio with Kanye, Jay-Z, and the rest of the gang, and I was full of confidence. Because whatever that is happening there,
the information.
I mean, it's not even that. Whatever that is happening there is not really new to me. We're sitting down to create music. I'm talking of, the kind of music we create in the church where we have to create an hour anthem. And it has to be interesting. And the only way you know it's interesting is when the whole entire crowd is standing and dancing. And they're like, oh, and they come and appreciate you with money. So I've done that all my life. Now being in the studio to create music of 4 minutes, for the rest of the world. So I understand the science. So it's not really, new to me.
Have you always wanted to be in music? Like when you were growing up, did you ever think, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to do this? Was there anything else you were interested in at all?
Never.
Never?
Never. You remember I told you, I said when I was 4, when they beat me, I was singing. While growing up, my elder brother, you were playing bass and lead guitar.
Yeah, so you were just like, oh, well, music is...
No, it was not like music is. Like I said,
you learned it so much.
I think God chose me, let me put it like that. Because
100%.
Really.
That was your path originally.
I've never met any child or any young person who you will beat and will be singing.
Yeah, me neither.
So for me, I mean, I believe I was chosen. I see it like that. That's the way I see it. And God created an avenue for me not to be distracted from that. Even when I was about to go to the university, I remember my dad asked me, so what next do you want to do? And I said, I want to do music. He said, well, the only way you can do music is you have to go to university. And my dad, remember, is a disciplinarian, he's a teacher, so you can't argue.
You just say yes, sir.
No, I didn't even go like that. I said, sir, can you repeat what you said, sir?
That's what you said?
Yeah. He's alive. I'll give you his number. Call him out. Okay. He said, the only way you can do music.
He repeated it.
He repeated it. The only way you can do music
is if you go to
university, you will do music. I said, sir, okay. So I enrolled, did JAM, passed my JAM.
What university did you go to?
University of Ibadan.
Okay.
I studied zoology. In fact, I was actually taking zoology. I was actually taking at the University of Ife for Greek economics. But that time, Ife, they're always going on strike. But UI was subtle.
Yeah, you wanted to graduate on time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was not even about that. My eldest brother was attending Ife. So it was the one that was saying that, this one that we are always striking. No, I mean, what actually happened was I think I did change of university and change of course. Okay. So I did that. So I now went to University of Ibadan. I got there. Everything was looking, I mean, very young with no parents. I went there myself. Ibadan from Lagos. And everything, I went to the department, everything. I'm like, wow, oh God. This is scam. And, you know, like I said, I'm that kind of person that I learn fast, I look at everything, and I read. And life began in Ibadan. I mean, eventually what was in my mind was that maybe my dad was like, okay, if he goes to the university,
he would change his mind.
I will forget about music. But he didn't know that he gave me a license to kill. You know? Because when I got to UI, oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Number one, all the fellowships. You know there are fellowships. So my first night inside University of Ibadan, I woke up, I'm like, okay, so what am I going to be doing? Don't forget that my life was routine in Lagos. Yeah, in Lagos. So what am I going to do? I just had some people singing from afar. I started walking.
I need to be there.
I need to be there. So I went to the church. It's at the back of my hall, Third Hall. And I was hearing all of them singing. Number one, don't forget I was coming from a select church. And we play everything, but Pentecostal style.
I have a question. Were they singing good?
Very, very good. Okay. Listen, you don't know. You don't know who you're talking to.
No, you know sometimes people sing off key.
No, you don't know who you are talking to. You know who you are talking to. I'm a perfectionist here. So I got there. I realized from hearing their sound, I'm like, oh, okay. Good. At that time, Pentecostal sound was gaining ground in Nigeria. You know, we're talking about Labore, what's the name of that? Ron Kennelly. You know Ron Kennelly? It was, getting big at that time. So Nigerian churches were shifting from normal, switching to trying to sing English style but with Yoruba accent. So when I was hearing that, it was like, for me, it was sound discovery to me. So I'm like, okay. They were singing and I went straight to the choir and I picked the bass guitar. So I started playing. Like I said, I'm always eager to learn. Yeah. So while I was there, then I realized there's another fellowship again. The way those ones are singing are different from this one. So I went to that one too. That was how the whole entire school, they know that, this guy can play music. Now eventually, I'm telling you this audio about Bankulli. Eventually, something now happened. And I started going outside campus. You know, going to different churches and just to experience it. That's the only thing after school that can take away boredom from me. You know, going to learn how other people, the sound, what's going on. And now I look back in retrospect and I see that it has helped me because as it is, if you put me in the room with Ebenezer Obey, I will create something. If you put me in the room with Fuji artists,
You create something.
I've created something.
Yeah, Kwamwan.
And at the moment, I'm creating something with Saeed Oshupa.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, a lot of people do not know that music is not production any longer. For a long while, it's music science. I mean, for me, it has always been like that. Like I said, growing up, I'm always looking at the science behind the sound. Why is this thing like this? And in my head, I don't hear sound. I see sound. I'm not sure if you've ever heard that.
I haven't. So you know what I like about you? You are like the past, the present, and the future of music, of Afrobeat music.
Yeah, but because when I was growing up, I was not discriminatory when it comes to sound.
You know how to evolve. I would say like a lot of like obviously the artists that we were watching his interview before we started our interview, a lot of people don't know how to evolve. They don't understand that the industry, not even Nigerian industry, the music industry is a moving train. Either you get on it and you evolve, or you continuously work on yourself, work on your sound. Because you work with older artists, younger artists, and upcoming. You work, like you said, you are not discriminatory. You are not going to say, oh, this person never blew, I'm not going to work with them. You are open to all.
Music is impulse. Music is impulse. People need to understand that. You know, it's like your taste buds. You can wake up one day and it is a cam that you have the urge. And you can wake up someday and you're like, I want to eat basmati rice with some vegetable and egg and, you know, all those mende that we watch on Instagram. And it all depends on your pocket anyway.
100%.
But for me, even if you have 5,000 naira, you can get the best food in Lagos. The only thing is that
you have to know where you're going.
You have to know where you're going, either toilet or, you know, you buy fly G and stuff, you know. But basically what I'm trying to say is that music is like your taste bud. You must taste each different food and you know that this is the one that my body will work with. For me, growing up, I listened to Fela Kuti. I could sing all his songs when I was growing up. And all the instrumentation and all the guitar chords and all the piano roll and Fela solo, I could recite it. And people will be like, how come you are doing the interlude? All of us were supposed to keep quiet. But because I'm a musician and I know what he's playing, I know the note, and I know that the next thing that he would do is already programmed in my head. I'm not just listening or singing. I'm seeing the notes.
Do you know how to read music notes? Like actual music? Okay, sorry, I forgot who I was.
I just told you music is science. No, Binu, I'm just...
I forgot what I was talking to. Because do you feel like it's important for musicians to know how to read the music notes?
Is it important for a married woman to know how to cook?
Actually, no, because I don't know how to cook. There we go.
I'm sure you know how to... You might not know how to cook a lot of different foods, but you know how to cook. You cannot tell me.
I can cook white rice. I can cook, basic things.
That's some food you know how to cook.
Basic things. But I don't do it.
Because you have money to employ people to do it.
Exactly. So artists can have money to employ people to read the music notes.
It is not like that. Even for the married woman. True. Okay, example. You are paying salary for an housemaid. And she falls sick. She has COVID.
Food is one there.
And food is not open and you are all stuck in the house.
Something will be open.
That's what I'm saying. You will stand up and go and prepare something.
That was self-day. I'll make Indomie.
That's what I'm saying now.
Rice and stew.
And that Indomie won't be like regular student Indomie.
Yeah.
The Indomie will have some...
shrimp.
That's what I'm saying now. So that by the time you're even eating it, the Indomie is inconsequential. It is the mende and the spice and everything, you know, the way you preserve and serve your husband, everything will just make sense. But it is the same thing that is music. What you are presenting for thousands of people all over the world to eat.
You need to know what you are doing.
Yeah, exactly. It is not, but I mean, it's not fluke or it's not... It's not like, okay, try your luck. It's happening for some people. You know, they don't have a clue of what they want to do. They go to the studio, the producer produce something. But through maybe the universe or God, you know, something just align or click. The song becomes big, beautiful.
Yeah.
But afterwards, what happens?
Yeah, you still have to create another hit. And
what did you say now?
You still have to create another hit.
So when you are hungry in the morning, what do?
You create another meal.
Afternoon.
Another meal.
Evening.
You shall be learning.
No, wait.
Another meal.
But you know you're going to do it for life.
Yeah.
You can't stop eating.
You continue learning.
Exactly. Are you going to tell me that you get to a particular age, you like, for 1 year, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to cook. It's not possible. That is what music, the taste buds always change as we grow and as we feel. And also the moment you turn it into a music science, you understand that your body also is a science.
Yeah.
We go through a lot of stuff. When you fast, there's a way your body reacts. You shrink, right? And when you eat too much, your body will expand. So you want to balance it.
Yeah.
You know that, okay, how do you balance it? Food, diet, exercise, water, diet, and generally just, mental health and all those stuff.
Yourself.
Exactly, that's the way it is. It is the same thing for music. So that's the way I take music. It's my life. I can't stop it. Even while I'm on the bed, I'm playing music, or when you talk, I can understand what is on your mind because it is something that I'm familiar with.
Okay, gotcha.
You don't necessarily have to learn it too. But if you learn it, it's a plus.
But it's a plus, exactly.
It's a very big plus for you.
They cannot cheat you. You know exactly what you want to change in your music. Like if a producer is doing something, you say, change this note.
Add this.
You know how to describe it.
Exactly.
I get what you mean. So, who gave you the name Bankulli? Was it a name you gave yourself or?
You are looking for trouble with that name.
I tried researching. I couldn't find it anywhere.
You can't.
So you're going to tell me?
So my first, my first night in University of Ibadan. If you're just going to do your research, I mean, I slept in an hall of residence called Teda Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, everything.
How come you slept in the hall?
Eh?
There was no accommodation. Why did you sleep in the hall?
No. Inside the Teda Hall is one of the accommodation.
Okay, one of the accommodation halls.
You have Teda, you have Melambi, you have Kuti, you have Zik, you have Awu, like that. But Teda Hall is one of the toughest hall of residence in UI because people like Wole Soyinka, Professor Awe, they all graduated and lived in that hall. So, technically, we hear stories. I know they say it around that all these student secret call society all started and was created in one of the rooms there, A block, D block, or whatever block there. so it has an history. If you go there is history. There's a lot of great people from Nigeria. They're all from that hall. So I slept in that hall. That was my hall of residence. And I woke up and I saw some bunch of boys playing football in one of the quarters there, like an open field. And as a Lagos boy that is free, like I said, just went down to go and play football with them. And I didn't know whoever they are, but I just went there with confidence. And they selected me, and I started playing football. Then I dribbled one of them, and the guy fell. Bah! Hey, Wolu. Don't worry, I will censor some things for you. I didn't know who I dribbled was the top member of one of those sects. So one other sect there was like
What's he share?
No Sheke.
No share one.
No, not share one. That what gave this guy gut to enter this game? You don't know who you dribble away for. And I remember one guy just shouted, who be this Bankulli?
Huh? Wait. This is how the name came about.
That's how the name came about.
But what was it intended to be?
I never asked the guy.
You just like the name?
No, I did not like it too. They don't know my name now. Football. They will know, they pass the ball, They don't know my name.
They've named you.
I just came into their set.
So they named you.
I dribble number 1 of Pirates. And the guy was like, who be this Bankulli now? So, I kept quiet. I'm like, they're like, nice one. If you play ball, everybody just go. I'm from that day.
That's how you became.
That's my name in that uni.
Hey, God.
For real, Bankulli, I think play set, I just kept quiet. I didn't say anything. And nobody, they didn't even ask me that, what's your name, Shane or whatever. But for some reasons.
You were okay with it?
My body seems well with it. I'm a Lagos boy now, From Lagos, I was like, one thing about university that I always tell people, university, you go there to learn common sense. It's not just the courses you are going there to read. You are learning how human beings respond, how they live, everything your parents have taught you in this life. You are going to see it head on there. So for me, I mean, I didn't say anything bad in what he said. So I mean, I was just living my life. All I just noticed was that everybody was just calling me Bankulli.
I'm sure your university like friends back then, they would be like, this Bankulli guy.
And Bankulli sounds unique, really. If you look at it, it sounds unique. And I'm like, there's no harm.
Yeah, not at all.
Really, there's no harm until the day my dad called me Bankulli. My dad was supposed to be a disciplinarian. And he said, Bankulli. Eh?
Were you shocked?
No. You want me I should give you my response. But the response I gave him.
What was it?
He said, Bankulli. I'm like, Emma took me lórúkọ yẹn. Orúkọ wo lẹ use on me? I'm like, don't call me that name again.
So has he stopped?
He stopped.
Yes.
But he still called me. Once in a while.
Because everybody calls you that too.
I mean, everybody, even my other brother, everybody called me Bankulli. But my dad, I'm like, no, what name did you give me? He said, Oluseun, call me down.
That one makes
You are
sense.
the only person that they exempted. Don't forget, he was a disciplinarian. So I'm like, you know, no.
You know, as our parents get older, they start to soften up.
My dad has softened up, trust me.
They start to soften up.
I mean,
especially when they have grandkids.
You see, one thing I tell people is that parents are guardians. Your mom, your dad, they are guardians. They don't own you. Because if you look back to when they were young too, somebody was their own guardian. And when they got older, they could not beat them. Rather, they will pray for them. As you are now, your mom and dad can't beat you. If they are trying to convince you otherwise on certain matter, and you are not listening, what do? They will go and pray to God. God. So it means who owns you?
God.
Thank you.
100%.
Take. So your parents are guardians. And if they guide you well, they will be rewarded by God.
Amen. Lórúkọ Jésù.
Amen. And so, if we guide our own children very well, we'll be rewarded by God. And for the Yoruba culture, the way the Yoruba culture is set up, you know, your parents, your father and mother are not your only guardian. Because if you read your Bible very well, as a Christian, it said, honor thy father and thy mother and all those that are... Exactly. So...
All right, so let's delve into your journey into the music industry. I saw that you started with Mr. Ayo Shonaya and DJ Abbas. Is that how you started?
I didn't start with them.
Okay, that was not your introduction into the industry. You said you interned at R7E.
I mean, you know, sometimes you want to give all respect to some people. Intern.
That's what I said. Correct the narrative. You know, the internet has a lot of...
I will call the Wikipedia because sometimes that Wikipedia, people will go there and contribute because they want to get points, so they write
Yes,
some
now
stuff.
you should actually...
Well, the way it is, it was a learning process, really. Because when you say intern, it's as if you sat down in an office.
It said that Mrs. Shonaya introduced you to her husband.
No, it is not like that. Too. Remember, I told you it was a select church. So Ayo Shonaya's mom was a member of our church.
Okay.
And because, like I said, I was young, singing. She's late now.
Okay.
You know, I was singing, so everybody loved, the way I was going about my singing thing. So she was the one that told me that, I have a son who is in London, Ayo. When it comes to Nigeria, that is young too, that I will introduce you, the two of you, you will be friends. Yeah. And that happened because I remember he came from London at that time, and he said, meet Sheon, meet Ayo. His music, because Ayo's mom knew Ayo too likes music. He has a bass guitar. So exactly, and we became friends from there. And of course, he was in London. I'm in Nigeria. If they need anything or whatever, exactly. So we've been doing that back and forth. So the learning is not as if he was teaching me how to move, but it's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Like it was still a learning process.
No. Of course, definitely. But it was, they were learning from my own street credibility too at that time. Of course, Abbas too.
Yeah.
Fantastic human being, And there's one other person I have to give shout out to, and Jimmy Adigbite.
Okay.
I will tell you how important it is.
It's to your story. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
to my
in
story,
general.
even to Afrobeats.
Okay.
I remember the first Afrobeats concert in London at that time. Jimmy was the man behind the camera, was in charge of all the filming. And after that concert we had, the lineup was Dr. Seed, Idris Abdulkarim, Olu Maintain, JJC. The band performed there too. That was his first. He got the break. No, not for sure.
Okay.
But he got a very big.
Okay.
The break, Mobolo one break came from there. Don Jazzy performed, Queen Onokala, JJC and 419 Squad. Just imagine at the Ocean, Acne, I remember. Just imagine after the entire show, everybody will be tired. So I went to Jimmy, Uncle Jimmy. I went to him like, Mr. Jimmy, I'm going back to Nigeria. At least if I'm going back to Nigeria, I should be able to get performances like 3 minute, 2 minute performance for everybody.
Like you want to do something before you go.
No. Like, can he edit all those footage?
Edit. Oh, okay.
He's the one behind the camera and he edits.
You want to go back home and show them.
Like when I go back to Nigeria,
Yeah,
this thing that we have done here,
I need to show them.
They didn't send me, but I was proactive like that.
Yeah.
And that's Bankulli for you. So I went to him and I'm like, we have to do this thing, you know. Jimmy was looking at me like, you must be a very, he actually, I can't forget. He abused me that day. He said, you are very stupid. I said, why? He said, so after all this planning, 3 weeks stress that I have stressed, I will now carry tapes, mini DV tapes. Do you know how many DV tapes we've used? Like almost like 30 for that event. I should now edit. Moni, I thought it's a good idea. I left it like that. Guess what? The next day, Monday, he called me.
He did it.
He said, I'm on the train. I'm going to Archway, not London. That Bankulli, where come and meet me. Shebi, you want those tapes. We will suffer it together.
Yeah.
So I went there and we were together. I was editing it. So he was editing everybody's video, one performance.
Wow.
When he got to the band was the highlight of the entire concert. I will tell you, that's another big story. You know? I told him to do the band 6 minutes.
Because it was a good performance.
Yeah, he had 2 songs. There was one that he did with Queen Onokala. I'm sure if the band is ready, you'll be laughing. Produced by Don Jazzy. That performance was epic because Abbas played a song that has the band and Queen, so that Queen, a girl, can be featured on the concert. But the band had Mobolo on, which was a new. It's not pop, you know. The first time he performed it, the whole show ended. Can you imagine? Because the story, the content of the song was speaking about a new guy that came to do fraud in London, how he escaped police, and it was resonating with everybody in the crowd. So by the time he was doing the second chorus, the whole place was just upside down. For real.
All right, so let's talk about your journey with MoHits. Obviously, that's a big part of your story.
We are in trouble. We're going to spend 3 nights here.
No, we're not. We're going to summarize it.
No, I was summarize. That was fun.
So I just want to talk about the key things, like what you learned from there, maybe what.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's talk about what you learned from MoHits. Let's start from there.
What I learned from MoHits, or even pre-MoHits.
Wait, actually, before we get there, how did you get that position to work with them?
Position?
Yes, no. To work with them, no. It starts with, like, did someone connect
Let
you?
me help you rephrase the question.
Okay, help me.
How did you get to know the band Don Jazzy?
Yes. Okay, you were there before they even... Okay, I got you. How did you get to meet Don Jazzy and the band?
Well, I got to meet Don Jazzy and the band through JJC.
Okay.
Skills. Do you know JJC?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, because back in the days, I believe JJC used to have a group in
Lara,
UK.
Tipsy, Ralph.
Even before those ones.
Oh, he had another group. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had Lamar was part of the group at that time. Okay. They were called the Big Brothers. Oh, you don't know about that?
I don't.
Okay, so he created a group called the Big Brothers. It was a BB. It was supposed to be like the backbone and stuff like that. Then the group now blew in UK.
Okay.
And they were signed to Sony. And supposedly the main guy was arrested and jailed for whatever reason. And that was close to when they were going to release the official single in UK. And JJC was not part of the group, it was behind the scenes. So, and they're like, guy, now you bring these people. How are we going to fix it? So what they did was change the whole entire promo and brought JJC to feel that.
Wow, fast.
So he had to, learn the song, they released the song. That blew. I think that was one of those first songs from, I'm not too sure, from, immigrants to actually blow in UK. So JJC was the face of that group. They went, billboards, campaigns, and stuff like that. So he had an experience. And that experience was, promotion, marketing, branding. So after that, he's someone that wants to do more. So he created Backbone Music. Backbone Music, he had the Don Jazzy, Queen and Okala, the band, stuff like that.
So that's
they were
how
just
you got
like
to meet them.
Like click. So JJC now wanted to come to Nigeria because he also created another group called JJC and the 419 Squad. They were the main group. Then attached was the Backbone, and Don Jazzy was like part producer with his company. So he wanted to come to Nigeria. They went to there's a club, Moonlighting, around East London, if I'm right. Very close to North Greenwich, O2 Arena.
Okay.
Old school. Anybody watching this that is familiar with that side?
Know.
So they went to that club and they saw Abbas and they told DJ Abbas that they're going to Nigeria, and Abbas said the only person you should look out for, Bankulli. So when JJC landed, they reached out to me. He called me for a meeting in Ikeja. I went to him. And when we had that meeting, he said he wants to replicate exactly what he did in UK, in Nigeria. That time, artists in Nigeria never goes around to do radio tour or TV tour. You understand what I'm saying? Aha. So after that meeting, that day, and I asked him, so when are we going to start? He said, now.
No.
I'm not joking. He's alive. You see, you are asking. He said now, and it was in Ikeja, Allen. And I'm like, this is the cloth I brought to him. He said, no, that they lodged, he rented an hotel, booked all the room, penthouse, like 15 rooms. Yeah, I'm not joking. He brought all the money he made from UK and invested in that fit. In that fit, he wanted to bring that same empire here. So I crossed the road from the hotel. In front of the hotel, there was one Wrangler there. So I went there and I bought a moccasin. Bought a new chinos, two shirts, and I went back to the hotel and I was with them for 1 month.
So you were just...
I didn't go back home.
Changing the clothes.
Yeah, wash. Yeah. And they need to go to NTA. I got it knocked. Yeah, we move. They need to go to this place. In 1 month, they were in all the TV stations, all the radio stations in Lagos.
Bankulli, one and only.
No, not me, it's God though. God is the plug and socket.
You and God.
No, God is the plug and socket.
God has to use a vessel.
God is the plug and socket.
Okay, I give
you understand what I'm saying? I believe at that time, it was not even about me singing that I was doing in secondary school. I later saw or felt or discovered that I also have that, feeling for helping other people too. And it was so strong. So because of that, I was very hyped up. It's not for any money. Let's get it. And we are all young people at that time. And I was a little bit older than them, but I loved the challenge. And we did that. He introduced Don Jazzy, the band. They were part of the group. And when it was time for him to go back, I don't know what happened between them. Something happened. Don't worry, you can't hear that. You will see it in my own documentary. So something happened. And the band and Don Jazzy came to me. That, boss, we are going to come back. We have to come back. That the band's mom has agreed that I can do music. I said, I did. Voila. So they went to London. I've never traveled to London at that time. Then 2 months after, I think I was in London, and they were like, hey!
You don't check.
So it was around that time that we had that concert, and I was now coming back home. I came with all the content. So when I came with all the content, I came back to Nigeria. At that time, there was no MTV base. There was nothing like Trace TV, no Sound City. What we had at that time was Music Africa. And there was one young lady there at that time called Joke Jayesimi. She's the only female music entertainment producer at that time. Young, beautiful. So everybody's always that fine girl, our program. Then, I mean, they were in Lagos, they were in Ghana. I mean, Music Africa is strong. They are still on now. You know, on Silverbed and stuff. Okay. They're on DSTV. Okay. Yeah, you know, I mean, I see some of their programs. So I went to Joke. I'm like, Joke, you know, have something that I've never seen it in Nigeria. Because all of them, you know, we're all on the street. They're like, London boy, where did you bring chocolate? Oh, Benny,
I hope you brought something for Joke.
Shocking, Bonnier, chocolate. Bonnier. Only what I have here is mini DVT. Let's watch.
Oh, that tape that
Mr.
Jimmy
caught for me.
You.
Everybody that performed one song, but the band, two songs.
The best one, yeah.
So she played it and she was like, "Oh, this is fantastic, Bankulli. Please, can I have it?" I brought it for you now because she's the eye of the entertainment.
Yeah, and you know everyone's gonna watch it.
I know that program is being syndicated everywhere. So I gave it to her and she slammed it. Guess what? Every time they played the band player part, they played it twice, meaning it got more visibility. You know, and she said that it was unique and why not give them a chance?
Before, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They slammed that thing for like 3 months. So everybody saw it like, oh wow. So this thing where we they do way that was like void, that was headless, is getting traction there. Look at Nigerians. They were shouting, singing the song that they don't even know.
So would you say that video helped MoHits?
No, that video helped not just, it propelled the band. It made the band be known here in Lagos. And even at that time, the band had a center spread on the Punch newspaper.
Okay.
That was the first time they were going to report Naija Sound. It was not Afrobeat. Naija Sound reported by, there's this man called Steve Ayorinde. He was a former commissioner of information, Lagos State. Okay. He's still alive. You have to give people credit, you know.
100%.
So he wrote it at that time, get it a center spread. He even went to London. He witnessed it. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, hey, so this thing that these boys are, it has becoming, you know. And of course, before then, you have Idris, you have Plantation Boys. They've been doing their thing. But on that end, seeing all those kind of footage changed his mind. Wow.
So I have a question. When MoHits, when they were coming up, would you say Idris, Plantation Boys, and were they supportive?
Supportive of how?
Like, you see how we talk about like collaborations and younger acts, older acts supporting younger acts. Would you say that MoHits
at that time
collaboration was
them Idris and the rest of them that are blown were like there. The band and the rest of them with all these clips and all this, they were like new or Tay artists who just showed up from London. You understand what I'm saying? But their swag, their music, their style of doing things was totally off the cuff. Don't forget that when they came, they were on all TV stations doing interviews. I know them too, they were doing it at that time too, but it was not as much as that. It was more coordinated, there was fun, because there was a template from JJC. You understand what I'm saying? And that template is still existing now. Should I tell you what the template is? JJC and the 419 squad, they're always a big Davido and 30BG. The band Don Jazzy and MoHits Records. Have you noticed?
Template.
So that template is always there that, you know, we move like a gang and stuff like that.
Also, another question coming up, were you guys paying outlets for these things? Like, were you paying newspapers?
Oh, you are talking about payola. I mean, payola has been there before we came into the system.
Yeah, okay,
and it will forever be there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But what I see is that, you know, there's some stuff, the way music business works. There are release budgets. Example, your show is top show. I'm not saying that we're coming to come and pay you money to do that interview. You know there's going to be value for the interview. And genuinely, you doing it we uplift your show and we uplift the talent. I'm not saying somebody's coming to come and pay you.
Yeah, okay, I get what
But
you
everybody always find like a kind of balance, to get things done.
So even if it's not monetary, it is...
Or sure, you need to interview to
to
your
keep the
YouTube
show
and,
going, yeah.
You understand? So, I mean, I don't know how people define that payola thing like somebody is actually giving you money to pump somebody. If the music is not good,
I get you. Some people's music is not good.
I'm not stopping it. I know some people do it, but it's okay. You understand?
We have some artists that their music is not good and it's going very far. So.
Hey, but one thing also that you should also know is that good will always catch up with bad.
Yeah, 100%.
Those people that you've mentioned, they are not the first, they won't be the last. The system always find a way to force into, I mean, some few people will always force themselves on the system. Politically in Nigeria is happening, right? You expect this person to win, another person win. What are you going to do? You go for the next election now. But for those artists that you have said that they forced on the system, what is their elasticity period?
Another angle.
So, I mean, it's all business. Don't forget. If you have a store where you sell product, you'll find a way to make sure your product gets to the market.
Yeah.
You know, people sometimes they do different stuff that are questionable or not questionable, just to get their feet up. I mean, it's a fair game.
So now that you say this, how do you feel when certain acts say they don't classify themselves under Afrobeats? How do you feel about that? You know, you made a statement saying, as long as you've said pidgin, it is considered Afrobeats. You cannot come and make money off of this, and you are not considered that. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, you want to know the thinking behind that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's okay. Like I always tell people, have you heard of Latin music before?
Yes, I have.
Why should they call it Latin music?
Because they are speaking in Latin, in their language.
Say it louder.
They are speaking in their language.
So Latinos too do R&B.
Yeah, but they don't call it Afro-Latino R&B.
Oh, don't do this now, Moni.
Took your answer.
I'm learning from you
took
now.
Your answer.
No, you did not took my answer. You are saying the fact in it.
Yeah. No, but I get where you're coming from.
You get what I'm saying? Is there anything like Latino rap? There's something like that, Abi. They could put all of them there. And Latinos are close to the Americans, Abi, in terms of geography.
And they still did a category specifically for them.
Thank you. Let me take it a little bit upward. Why do they say Spanish music?
Encore in Spanish.
They are singing in Spanish language.
Spanish.
That America that you're looking at, what's their second language?
But then you know
What's their second language?
Spanish. But then you know another thing is, even if Bad Bunny sang in English, they will still consider his music Spanish music.
Because
That's where he's from.
Oh, why are you answering the question indirectly now? So what I've said now, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, but then you know other
countries.
No. I'm saying other countries such as like Cameroon, they also speak pidgin.
Okay, now do you know the historical?
I don't. Don't worry.
Geography.
I don't.
Of Cameroon. You know Cameroon used to be part of Nigeria.
I did not know that.
Okay. Go and read your geography.
I am actually.
And history. Cameroon used to be part of Nigeria. Cameroon was ceded to that side by one of Nigeria military ruler. Go on.
No wonder why we don't fight Cameroonians. Now Ghana, we always fight.
No, even part of. Do you know of recent during Obasanjo time? Go back, go and read. It's there. Google. Bakassi was ceded to Cameroon because the international law and Nigeria have agreed to do that. It's there. If you say this one now, I'm sure some people will watch this video and still say that, Baba, you are saying nonsense. Because people, if you see, one thing is that I am not speaking, or I do not speak, or I try as much as possible
without facts
to speak from the place of wisdom. I don't want to confuse people. So maybe what I said or the way I put it might be too sophisticated. One thing is that if you don't know something, ask. You shall be given. That's what the Bible says. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. Let me help you. Afrobeat created by Fela. Fela did not create anything new other than he created an identity for himself. Out of many people that were doing music at that time. He sat down and created an identity. Listen to what I said. Identity. How do I want my style to be seen? So he took a fusion of what was existing. Jazz, funk, an element of classical. The same thing that is representing here, the language, pidgin, Yoruba, Yabis. Abi? Fela is from, not a poor woman, you know. He's from a rich home. He's educated. He's from a very sound family. Fela's great-grandfather was a musician. He was one of the first composers of gospel music. Oh, you don't know?
I'm learning.
You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying it because myself, I learn in it, I read in it, I open my eye. I'm not looking for only negative stories around. I'm looking for things that will enlighten my mind so that I can be a better person. And when I have an opportunity like this, we can share it. Afrobeat, without S, created by Fela, is a fusion of sound. Before Fela that you know the Fela that was revolutionary, that's the Fela you know. Go back, go and Google, go and check YouTube. Fela's first hit song that made everybody know Fela was an highlife song called Jeun Koku. I've said it many places. Jeun Koku was the song, and it's an highlife song. But he created an element to it. Warm horns, the drums, everything was sounding. He was discovering himself. He was creating something, an identity. Because whether you like it or not, that name Afrobeat was being used around. It was King Sunny Ade and his Afrobeat band. He's there, go and research. Yeah, Orimi, yeah, Oja. No. Jafumi. Go and listen to the element of the music. You can hear that same vibe that Fela is playing. He's there too. You understand? So people were looking for that identity for themselves. It was not a collective identity for what our general Nigerian music is sounding as. Because there was highlife dominating. There was reggae dominating. They too, they are all young, vibrant boys that are growing up, or men. And they were looking at, oh, let's create our own thing. That's why you have Afro Juju, Peters, it was different from the traditional Afro Juju, Juju style that was reigning at that time. That you have a bit, melody, melody, Obey was calm, cool church guy that plays the guitar. Sonny Ade that has cultural background influence. He can dance. Sonny Ade learned from Baba Salah. You're saying who? Baba Salah used to have a cultural group. At that time, before you can come out as a musician, you have to go through cultural group. That's why you will learn how to sing, dance,
perform.
It's there. All these informations are there. Can't you see King Sunny Ade when he's dancing? He's all tailored. So he came with his own vibe. But at the end of the day, they are all juju music. It's under that category. But they all created one kind of identity. Mr. Shino Peters, he was very vibrant too. He was like, okay, what can I do to get my own slot in this pot? And he came with Afro Juju. It's the drum, the speed. Right now, we are ready to play music. We are ready to... You know, young, vibrant, and it appeals to that age bracket. But that doesn't mean everybody that is following Obe leave Obe.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean she not said I'm better than Obe.
They can like everything.
Exactly. So I am not saying that the Afrobeats with an S is also a fusion of sound. You can hear Fuji inside there. Abi? You can hear Juju music.
You can hear a little bit of everything.
You can hear highlight. You can hear influence of hip hop.
Yeah.
You can hear influence of even Afrobeat created by Fela. So that is a fusion itself. So if it is a fusion, and you are saying you are doing Afro fusion, What is the Afro in that fusion?
Afrobeat.
No. I'm trying to I mean, if I say anything that is, if you want to counter it, is there.
No, I hear you.
So it is fusion of sound too in Afrobeat. Because it is all this thing is based on what I am listening to. I'm listening to Olamide, Eleda, Mio. Even the style of singing is appealing. It's like Fuji vibe. But it's putting it on something, it's creating too. It's bringing, I call it traditional melodic rap. Yeah, Ashake. Everybody is coming. It's coming from a place. You understand? That bounce, Ashake, he has been coming. And when the time came for Ashake to explode, he's exploding from what has been coming. What them Wasiu, what them Barista was doing. Fuji garbage. Ijo konti motube rode. So they've been.
Sheyi vibes also gives.
Sheyi vibe is bringing even the core Muslim sound. And it's been able to look for that his vibe. Okay, it's appealing. Sometimes I see some people, they say, we don't even they understand all the thing he's saying. What he's saying is still Yoruba, but it's coming from another different end.
Islam, yeah.
And what is the influence? It's trying to bring that R&B vibes. He's trying to bring it into what he's doing.
Afro R&B.
There's nothing like Afro R&B.
I'm joking.
But I understand if you use that word. You can say, oh, well, if they ask you a question, what do you do? Well, I do Afrobeats. But my vibe is more lean to R&B.
Music. Yeah.
You understand? Because I'm influenced by that a lot. Then you mention all the R&B artists.
Yeah.
That's the education. The same thing with pop. Yeah, I listen to this pop artist. Because in the book of things, there's something like Afro pop. You to think about it, if you want to begin to talk about it, are you going to say, from Nigeria alone, you have how many genres? Afro pop, Afro R&B, Afro Adura, Afro Ote,
Afro depression.
Afro depression. Okay, are you not confused? No, think about that. Are we not confused? Somebody said Afro emo, Afro rave, Afro this. We're educated now, for God's sake now. You understand what I'm saying?
I get you, 100%.
If you really want to do an R&B song, nobody is holding you. Do R&B song now.
Go and compete with.
And go and compete with Chris Brown, and go and compete with Asha. And we see how far you go. Something happened a few years ago. I'm sure you can still go and check it. Justin Bieber is classified under which genre?
Pop.
Say it again.
Pop.
Can you say it louder?
Pop music.
But Justin Bieber released an R&B project and submitted it for Grammy. But Grammy pushed it to pop.
Because he identifies.
Say it.
Because he identifies as a pop artist. That's how he came out. That's how he made his money.
So why did Grammy push him to R&B?
I mean, to pop.
To pop?
Yeah.
But he released an R&B album. Weeknd did the same thing, I guess. It's there. Go on Google now.
But...
No. Yes or no?
No, I get where you're coming from. But you know Beyonce's new album is going to be under country music.
I don't... Where is Beyonce from?
She's from Texas.
What is Texas?
It's a country... No, I get what you're saying. But I'm telling you,
don't understand what I'm saying?
There is a little room for errors in there.
You don't understand what I'm saying?
Because Beyonce
Look
came out
at how long
R&B
it took
star
Beyonce
to
get to this point. Look at how long. Have you listened to the project?
I have.
The entire project is strictly
Country.
Thank you. Not I released a country album and you went there and you're hearing R&B, you're hearing pop, and maybe 2 country songs. No, it is strictly.
She worked with country producers.
Wait, let me even help you. Kanye is what?
A hip-hop artist. Rap.
Say it louder.
A hip-hop artist. Rap.
Rapper.
A rapper.
But his last 2 Grammys or whatever that he won is under what?
Gospel.
The entire song was what?
Gospel.
Is there any lean towards rap like that? It was more of singing, of choir. That is the science. You have to fit into that identity.
Do you still talk to him about doing new music?
You say what?
Do you still talk to Kanye West about doing new music?
If he wants to talk to me about doing music,
He's focused on other things right now.
exactly. He's doing a fusion of what? Sound.
I was about to say he's doing so much.
No. In terms of music, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I get what you mean.
So you can see that he himself is doing fusion of sound.
I can even tell he's doing a lot.
But is he going to come out and say, I'm doing Kanye Afro, Kanye whatever? You are just confusing yourself. Just do your thing. Nobody is holding anybody. That's the reason why I said that you are free
to do as you
to
like.
do as you like.
But compete with the people in those genres.
Exactly. Simple now.
I get you.
We have Afrobeats. We called it Afrobeat. We did not like it. We did not want it. But the whole world has taken it. All the playlists in the world is being, you have Afrobeats written on it, right? It's been there. Everybody have been making money from it. They've been enjoying, they've been flying. All of a sudden, you just decide, I know they do Afrobeat. It's okay. Nobody should be angry. But we should understand something. We are all educated. And the education is not university. It is in the music itself. You cannot say because they've created Banki many years ago. They've created different versions of Banki every year.
But it's still a Bentley.
It is still a Banki.
There's no other name for it.
There is no other name. The same thing with Mercedes-Benz, Peugeot, Abi, and so many other cars. Rolex. They've created Rolex. How many years? You see, rich woman. There's an Apple, this small
That's
Apple
your
watch.
choice.
You know, exactly. They've created so many versions. You know, prototype is getting better. Better every day. So you cannot just, I'm not sure if you can just open your, just say that,
I get what you mean, 100%. This was definitely a detailed explanation.
That-
I did not know that you managed Shatawale.
I did not manage Shatawale.
You see, the internet has a lot of wrong information.
I know,
about it.
it's okay.
So we gotta correct the narratives.
No, I don't, it is not important.
No, but it is important.
There are some things, let me tell you something. It's not fight. It's not nothing.
No, 100%. So
The
you
way
just
I'm wired.
produced
The way I'm wired. I'm not afraid to say anything I want to say.
Yeah, 100%.
I just make sure that everything I say
It's correct.
it's not just correct, but it is informative. It will help people. I believe I know so much, I've done so much, that people should benefit from some of those information, so it will make their journey much more difficult. I'm that kind of person that based on how I have my conversation with you, and I feel, and I believe that we can experiment or we can do stuff. And I have the time, I'll do it.
You do it.
I am not Shatawale's manager.
Okay.
He has his management team. We had a conversation.
Okay.
And the conversation was he wanted to try an experiment
Okay.
of songs
With his music. Okay.
with his music. He has been doing his stuff. And I believe that Nigeria should, not only Nigerian artists should not enjoy this whole vibe. What happens to other countries in Africa? And I've seen it repetitively that a lot of people put up negative conversations between Nigeria and Ghana.
And other countries. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Mostly all these jollof rice world, we have better things that the two countries are doing than rice. You
But it's a
understand?
valid fight, though.
It is not a valid fight. It is the most, the most lamest, conversation.
But
Do you know how talented Ghanaians are?
Yeah.
Do you know how talented Nigerians are? We now make it look as if the fight between Nigeria is rice.
You know our generation, we have different bands.
No, it is not different bands. I will take you back to where all these things started from.
Okay.
Ghanaians and Nigerians they are like twins. You can't separate them.
And twins always
Because
fight.
many years back, the best teachers in Nigerians were Ghanaians. But at that time, I don't know what happened between the two governments. There was a government brouhaha that you call it all, and there was a policy.
Ghana must go.
Exactly. Whoever came up with that reason, either from the two sides, I don't know what they were thinking. They were not looking at 20 years,
Ahead.
30 years, 50 years ahead. What the impact, the negative impact of whatever they are doing will happen. The same thing has happened between Nigeria and South Africa. But you call it xenophobia. Whatever happened at that time, somebody chased somebody out of the country or whatever,
And
was very lame.
Yeah.
Now, whoever brought the policy and the people that executed it, are they alive now? To see that the unborn generation and generation afterwards are fighting because of rice. It is not the rice. It is not the jollof rice.
It's deeper than that.
It is deeper than that. And nobody have said sorry from the two sides. So every Ghanaian child that they give back to will always say Nigerian rice. And you'll be like, have you been to Nigeria? No. Have you tasted Nigerian rice? No. But you are there. This one is there. Ghanaian, have you the same way, both ways? So that is what I am seeing. And I'm seeing an artist that is, great is, in his own right. Ghana has so many great artists. Stonebwoy, Shatta Wale, Black Sherif. And every time I see them, I see there should be more collaboration.
F.E.A. is such an amazing singer.
There should be more collaboration. And I had an opportunity to create something with Shatta Wale, and it ends there. Okay. I've done it for so many people. You said Kwamwan. At present, I'm doing it with Saeed Oshukpa. There are too many. You understand what I'm saying? And for me, I always try to keep it cool, keep it calm, do it, then move on.
What's one song that you've A&R'd that the public might not know about?
Too many.
So just give me one.
A lot, I can't say. Too many.
Just give me one. Oh, okay. You don't want to say it, or you can't. You don't know which one to pick.
It's too much. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, that's the person I am. I'm not doing it for clout. I don't want clout.
I get what you mean.
I just do my thing. If you talk about it, it's fine. I'll talk about it, and that ends here.
So let's talk about your new two talents, who I think are amazing, and I can't wait to see them do great things in the industry. Constance and, how do I say it? Basil. Okay. Constance and Basil. You told me off camera that you saw Constance's video on YouTube.
Well, Basil introduced me to Constance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are friends. I mean, they've gone to competitions, singing competitions, and they faced each other. And Basil knocks out Constance, and she was not happy with that. But years after, they became friends. They were talking and stuff. And I came across, I was outside the country at some point, and that jet lag, you can't sleep. And I was on Instagram, and I came across the video of Basil. And I listened to it, and wow. I'm like, so I started tracing the video that night. I was going from this to that, went to YouTube, typed his name, saw his video on YouTube. Video of him doing covers of other people's songs. And I watched, everything about Basil was for almost 2 hours that night. So I sent him a DM on Instagram. Hi, man, this is my number, let's talk. So, according to what he said he didn't know me.
I was just about to ask you, did he know who you were?
It doesn't matter.
I know he's young.
But that's the way I am, some of us are, it's social media. If you see something you like, you talk, So I saw it, I sent a message to him that, can we talk? So he went to ask his friends. He said, So he now gave me his number, and we started talking. We spoke for almost a year before we even see or sign or whatever. We were talking regularly. So at that time, he was, young boy that can, he can sing, and his parents and family are praying that one day
he will blow.
No, not blow. That somebody that will understand
his kind of
music or can help him grow. We meet him, and for me, like I said, I always like challenge, and when I was growing up as well, there was nobody to direct me. So it took a long time. So if I have that experience and I see somebody that
you don't mind directing them,
that has that talent and is humble, has home training, is part of the criteria. Home training, at least he has not started smoking weed. He will not smoke weed in Jesus' name. He's not drinking alcohol or anything that will, spiral their head. I will tell you something about all those stuff. They distract the mind. If you're growing up, you have not yet matured, and you have all those other substances along the way, what they will do is that they will reform you into something else, character-wise.
Not what you were supposed to be.
Exactly. Your mind won't be here. That will be your distraction. So, for me, I was looking for something clean, and I was also looking, like I said, music is science for me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm looking for, someone that you can show how to become or grow musically and in terms of general wise. I have a lot of experience. I want to put it out. So I connected with Basil, and one other night I was in London too, and around 11 p.m. and I saw Instagram notification on my page. I'm like, oh, Basil is awake. So I just wanted to see what he's doing. I mean, just look at his page. Then I noticed he was live with Constance. And so I went into that live. At least, so let me
just watch what's
let me know him because I want to know
his personality.
Exactly, you know. So I went there to listen, and I was there, and boom, I saw a request
to join
from Constance. She was saying, "Oh, Bankulli is here." You know, she has said it. Everybody in the live know Bankulli is here. Am I supposed to be running? What am I running for? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I accepted. So let me just. And she was just upfront, like, "How are you, Bankulli?" Moni Talkjs. I cannot say I was in a shock, but I'm like,
this one is forward.
She no fear. Say, "How are you, Bankulli? How are you? Oh wow, it's nice to have you here." I'm like, Are. So I'm like, okay, this super Gen Z, this one they no be Gen Z, they be super Gen Z. So I calm down. And another thing again, learn how other people live their life in a way so that you can understand how they make some decisions. Remember I said we are from before the millennia. When the millennia came, they have their own way. When the Gen Z came, they have their own way. The super Gen Z, they are worst. They have their own way too. And for me, it's interesting when you understand that. Then for people that are older, I mean, much more older than you will understand when they do some stuff, and you know how to get into their heart, into their heart. You know how to manage stuff. So, I mean, I wanted to have a conversation with her. We were talking. I'm like, okay. After like 10 minutes, I'm like, me, I have to bounce. But she gave me the impression, like, who the hell are you? Waiting give you guts to be so confident. And when I left the live, I clicked on her Instagram page. And I was there for 3 hours.
Wow.
I'm like, what? It's as if I've never seen any of such before. I mean, it's a style, her delivery. You can see that boldness
in her music,
in how she sings. It's real. It was touching. I'm like, what's this? I watched all the video on her page, went back again, watch again. I followed a link to YouTube. What's going on? People's song. I'm like, if you can sing other people's song like this,
how will you sing your own?
If we design your own song,
it will bloom.
It will blossom. And the same thing with Basil. So what I did was I sent her a message. How are you? This is my number. I want to speak with you. And I text Basil too. Can I speak with your friend? The one I just. No. It's not even that. I mean, like I said.
No, like because that's how you met her. So it's out of respect.
Exactly, for respect for him as well. Like, I mean, I could have like, I'm okay,
yeah,
but for me, I believe these young ones create a relationship with them. Try to understand them. You understand? There's some things that the two of them will do that as an adult you will get angry, but you quickly reverse it like, the way they are thinking is different. So calm down, bro. And you calm down. You hear their style and you'll be like, but no be so. They won't see it still until one day that what you've said makes sense to them. They will like, and they will still agree. They will like, that thing you said makes sense, but they want to change the topic. Let's talk about it. Why are you rushing? So for me, this generation is another prototype. So we must take time to learn. And trust me, you are saying Afrobeat. What's going to happen to Afrobeat? It will never end.
Speaking of Afrobeats, let's touch on Chronicles of Afrobeats.
Can't talk about that.
We gotta be. Oh, you don't want to talk about it?
I can't talk about that.
Okay, that's perfect because we've taken a long time. Yeah. So, but yeah, continue. I'm listening.
So for me, you mean if you talk about Afrobeat, you are listening to different young super Gen Zs, their own interpretation of what Two-Face have done,
yeah,
Davido have done, Wizkid have done, Burna Boy have done. You can hear what Buju is doing with his own sound. He has learned from them. You can hear Mayokun, you can hear Rema, you can hear Taves. Abi? Am I getting the name?
Yeah, his name
You are hearing YKB, you are hearing King Madi, you are hearing Constance, Basil. You understand? You see the way they are very daring.
Yeah, 100%.
They are expressing their own sound. I mean, this same vibe, Afrobeat that you call it, they are expressing it in their own model. And you can hear Billie Eilish in their voice. You can hear SZA, right? Caesar. You can hear Caesar. I'm sorry. You can hear Caesar in their voice, you know. You can hear Chris Brown. You understand? And they are mixing whiskey. You are mixing stuff. It is a combination of what they've listened to.
Yeah.
How do you want to define Afrobeats today?
All right, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Moni Talks. This was amazing. Make sure you follow me on all my platforms. Moni Oshibodu. Don't worry, I'll soon update it very soon. Also, follow the Moni Talk Show. You can find Mr. Bankulli on all platforms. That's his Bankulli.
Oh, wow, you got that right.
Yes, now. Especially on Twitter. He has a lot of takes that you learn from. Yes, and stop attacking my guy. Have you heard?
No. I keep on attacking him. It's good. It's good for the gospel too.
Okay, I've heard him. Keep on attacking.
Do you know that the only person that people do not talk about are the dead people? Because they are scared of them showing up in their dream. So if you are alive, people will talk about you.
You're actually right. That's actually true. But yeah, thank you guys so much. See you guys on the next episode. We out.
Sitting watching TV and the bad girl will come on. Say you know, yeah, now money talk. Many money talk. Sitting watching TV.